The male recipient of the Wilbur Baratz Award is a 4-year member of the men's basketball team who has played in 106 games while making 104 starts, both of which are school records. He is a 2-time all-conference selection who earned first-team status in his final season, averaging team highs of 15.2 points and 7.6 rebounds per game. He ranks 4th all-time at the school with 1,497 career points, and his 899 career rebounds are the 3rd most in program history. He helped lead the Mariners to back-to-back New England Collegiate Conference title game appearances, including a championship and NCAA Division III tournament appearance in 2019. The male recipient of the 2020 Wilbur Baratz Award is Hasani Williams.
Congratulations, Hasani, on being recognized as the male recipient for the Wilbur Baratz Award, recognizing your athletic achievements. We could go on and on about what Hasani Williams has done on the basketball court. Just under 1,500 career points, just under 900 rebounds, 2-time all-conference player, was a big part of us making a run and winning the NECC his junior year and playing in the NCAA tournament, and just the energy that he played with day in and day out. But if I could, I want to kind of back this up in regards to Hasani. I'm going to take us back to March of 2016 on one of my many recruiting trips to Florida. I was at Cypress Bay High School, which is South Florida in the Weston area. And every year I go to a showcase there. And it's sponsored by the Broward County Athletic Association, who sends the top 100 to 120 seniors from Broward County, which is a large population in the state of Florida. So it's a 2-day showcase. It's a Friday night, Saturday showcase. Friday night, they focus in on skills and some individual stuff and how kids follow directions. And then on Saturday, they play. So usually you get one of two things. You either get the kid on Friday night who, is probably really good in drill, isn't really good in the games. And they really push themselves in that aspect to showcase themselves. And then conversely, you have that kid on Saturday, maybe who doesn't really work as hard as he should in the drills, but can really play in the games, in the scrimmage type setting. Well, Hasani was a rarity. He was both. So when I went on Friday night to watch him play, I saw something in him, quite frankly, that stood out in front of, or over 120 other people. I saw someone who played with intensity and effort and energy and everything he did, whether it be an individual shooting drill, an individual one-on-one drill, whether it was a team transition drill, a box-out drill. He went around and I had a chance just to watch him. I positioned myself to where I could see 6 different baskets and watched his group of 10 move because I was so focused in on this young man who wasn't the most skilled player there, but was extremely athletic and just played with so much. He had a motor. That's the expression coaches use now. He has a motor. Well, he had a motor that was unsurpassed by anyone there. It was just off the charts. So I left there that Friday night saying, well, let's see what this young man can do on Saturday in a scrimmage type setting. Those showcases are usually dominated by, guards because the ball's in their hands a lot. And a lot of the big guys get frustrated and don't really show that well. Well, not Hasani. Hasani did the same energy and intensity and attention to detail that he had on Friday night, he had on Saturday. He knew that maybe the guards weren't getting him the ball enough. So what did he do? In typical Hasani fashion, he got to the offensive glass. He'd create for himself. He'd get a rebound, throw the outlet pass, and then sprint the court and get the pass back and make the layup. He dove on the floor. He tried to take charges. He did all the things that, I know it's kind of a colloquial expression that don't show up in the box score, but he did those. But then he also did the other things that show up in the box score, as far as rebounding and scoring and contributing. So as the day went on, I was kind of hoping that he would actually play poorly so no one else would be interested in him, as all the other coaches that were there. And I had a kind of a system in place where outside of this gym, in between sessions, there were picnic tables. And I sat out there and I waited for him to come out, and had a chance to sit down with him for the first time and have a true conversation with him about, Mitchell College and how interested were in him and what his aspirations were, not just basketball wise. Because if anybody knows Hasani is a different type of person. He's not like many of the other players that I've had in my 22 years who focus, a lot of their focus is on basketball. Not that Hasani didn't focus in on basketball, but he really had an idea early on of what he wanted to do for his career. And it had to deal with communications, and it had to deal with graphic design. And he was different. He had an interest that, quite frankly, a lot of guys that I've had over the years didn't. And as important as playing basketball was, the graphic design and the communications track from an academic standpoint was just as important. So it was just a really different kind of conversation. If you know Hasani, was just a different kind of kid, in a special way. Just a very stubborn young man for 4 years. But, I wouldn't have had it any other way. And the last thing I can say about Hasani is one time he came in and we were struggling. We were struggling a little bit, and it was the year after, I think it was the year after we had some success, and he was struggling because he didn't think he was being a good leader, and I said, everybody leads in different ways. And from day one, when he stepped in here as a freshman to the last day, every day he brought it in practice. There wasn't a drill that he took a day off on, or a drill he took off. After his freshman year, when practice was over, he'd want to stick around for another 15 or 20 minutes to work on his ball handling or work on his perimeter shot. So every year he worked on something to make his game that much better. And that was his stubbornness, and that was his drive, and that was his focus. Like I said, he never understood how someone couldn't leave that gym physically exhausted. And like I said, in my 22 years, I've had very, very few, I've had a lot of great players, and with Hasani being one of them, but his work ethic, day in and day out, and never taking a play off, never taking a drill off, is something that I'll always remember, and something that everyone should try to emulate. So congratulations, Hasani. Well deserved. Can't wait to see you in person.